Welcome back. Crossing the street can be dangerous, especially here in Florida. But now researchers and law enforcement are working together to keep pedestrians out of harm's way.
ABC7's Kate Flexter walks us through the high-tech steps being taken so you can drive and walk safer.
Each year, 20 million Floridians and more than 100 million tourists hit Florida's roads, sidewalks, or bike lanes, according to the U.S. Census, and visit Florida. And each year for the past 4 years, Smart Growth America ranked Florida among the top 3 most dangerous states for pedestrians.
Everybody's distracted.
Moving and turning and doing whatever they want to do, regardless of what the crosswalk sign says.
A recent study from Smart Growth America ranks the Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton area as the 10th most dangerous metro area, not just in the state, but in the nation. Executive Director of Florida Walks and Bikes, Mike Lachey, says many of the accidents are concentrated in certain areas. So you were saying this area is not great for pedestrians?
This area has actually been noted by the city of Sarasota as having a lot of pedestrian crashes. It's Washington Boulevard, 301. And one big reason for it is lack of crosswalks.
On that particular stretch of US 301 between Fruitville and 10th Street, the distance from one crosswalk to another is almost half a mile. And in the short time we were there, we watched as pedestrians crossed the street without using the crosswalk. Lachey says it's an issue that's deep-rooted, dating back to the invention of the automobile. Unlike much of the Northeast, Florida was largely developed after the introduction of the vehicle. And Lachey says developers prioritized cars over pedestrians.
Where you're going to shop is several miles away from where you live, and that's several miles away from where you work.
While it can be hard to work backwards, researchers are trying to do just that, using technology to make the simple act of crossing the road a little easier.
Most of the time, the frequency of crashes shows us that you have hotspots, you have areas where you need to investigate and find out the reasons why.
At the University of South Florida's Center for Urban Transportation Research, Dr. Achilles Cortelles and his colleagues identify those hot spots, using inventions like this bike with GPS and cameras to track and record interactions with vehicles. Or this vehicle, which uses light sensors to create a thermal map showing where light is concentrated on roadways. Cortelles says many accidents are the result of poorly lit roads. Interestingly, too much light on the road isn't good either.
If people can see better, they might go faster, so therefore crashes might happen again or increase.
But there's one thing all the technology in the world can't change, says Cortelles: behavior.
Everybody needs to know the rules and follow them, because otherwise it just doesn't work.
That's where law enforcement comes in. In December, the Sarasota Police Department received a $25,000 grant from USF to educate people about the laws and add extra officers to the streets with the focus of enforcing pedestrian violations.
The overall goal is simply to bring traffic accidents and fatalities down.
Sergeant Bruce King says accidents involving pedestrians are far too common locally and often life-altering.
The parents or the family of that person that was hit will never be the same, but the person driving the car will never be the same either.
It's all preventable, says King, and it starts with education.
And all we're trying to do is bring attention to it, and maybe people will be more attentive to the driving. Maybe some of the pedestrians will be more attentive to where they're crossing and using the crosswalks and using the lights appropriately.
Kate Flexter, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Kate, thank you. Drivers on the Suncoast are learning more about a huge traffic project planned for a stretch of I-75 in Sarasota County. Florida Department of Transportation planning to make improvements on the I-75 from south of Fruitville Road to south of Bee Ridge Road. FDOT plans to widen around 4 miles of the interstate and then reconstruct the interchange at Bee Ridge Road. FDOT officials are explaining the design plans at a public information meeting that's happening right now at the Realtor Association of Sarasota and Manatee on Cattleman Road.
It's the peak of tourist season, and in the city of Venice, nearly all of the rental homes are already occupied. And with an increase in visitors comes an increase in rental prices of more than 100%. ABC7's Christopher Brantley is joining us live now with more on this tonight. Christopher.
Good evening. If you're looking to find a home to rent in the city of Venice, it's nearly impossible to find. And if you do find one, you're likely to spend much more money than you would have only a few years ago. At the rental company of Venice, home rentals are their specialty.
Business, because of the seasonal market, the snowbird market's been extremely strong. Typically December through April, we get that surge.
Even over last year, there's an increase.
We're seeing more people. We've seen a little uptick in annual and some of the seasonal rentals.
Jack Corcoran knows all about the surge. Since 2002, he's manned the welcome booth in Venice, speaking to visitors, many of whom complain about one specific thing.
Rentals are few and far between, and they're fairly expensive.
In fact, rental prices over the last 16 years have risen to become 103% more expensive than they used to be. That's the highest increase on the Suncoast, according to Scope. Sarasota openly plans for excellence. They're a data analyzing group.
Typically, in a good, normal economy, you're going to see things double, prices double about every 10 years, 10 to 12 years.
Tim Lacey has run the rental company of Venice since 1991. Having seen the increase himself, he's not surprised. In fact, he thinks it hasn't increased as much as it could have.
Because of the recession we had, 07, 08, 09, in that era, that probably slowed it down.
I saw prices rise in my neighborhood and then fall back significantly.
But they eventually caught back up. If we hadn't had the decrease, according to Lacey, we'd be talking about a much higher increase today.
I think it would probably been a 140 or 150% increase. Yeah, I think that 3-year recession in that 16-year block probably slowed us down quite a bit.
And that number is anticipated to continue rising pretty steadily, especially as Venice continues to receive attention as one of the greatest places to live. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you. Spring is in the air in the Friendly City. The Pittsburgh Pirates are setting up for another spring training in Bradenton. The truck carrying the team's equipment arrived last night at Pirate City, the team's training base. Staff started unloading all those boxes and luggage first thing this morning. Along with all the bats and gloves and balls, the truck also brought down suitcases and the personal luggage of the players, coaches, and staff.
Once the truck pulls in here at Pirate City, it's one of those moments where spring's in the air and baseball's less than 3 weeks away.
Pitchers and catchers will report to camp on Monday to begin workouts on Tuesday. The rest of the team will arrive Thursday. The Pirates kick off spring training games at home against the Baltimore Orioles on February 25th.
And he's right, spring is in the air. Almost feels like summer is in the air, and the weekend is also getting closer. So we're enjoying all this nice weather, getting outside, and that's what Bob is doing.
Yep, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now live from the Plantation Golf and Country Club in Venice, the site of a fundraising event today that is always a huge success. Bob.
The Plantation Community Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic, and I tell you, it's been going on for 25 years. That's what the hat says right here. Ron Noble, who's been with the organization for 15 years and been the director for over 8 years. Ron, what a great tournament you have here.
Thank you. A lot of fun. We have a great bunch of guys, and we get a lot of good guys like Bob Harrigan. Great to have you here, Bob.
And you don't know Ron Noble. I mean, everyone knows him here, and he knows all the players too. He used to fly and actually fly some of the Boston Bruins and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I flew them around. We had a lot of we did a lot of charter work, so we'd fly guys like the Red Sox.
And speaking of charitable work, Ron, what is this event all for here?
This event is for South Sarasota County. We've raised about $2.7 million since we've been doing it, and we try to give out grants to probably somewhere in the vicinity of 40 to 50 local charities every year.
So you've raised over $2.7 million here in local charitable organizations here in South Sarasota County. What a wonderful job. We appreciate your time this afternoon.
Hey, thank you.
What a wonderful job you've done.
And thanks for supporting us. We sure appreciate it, Bob.
Thank you very much, Ron. Appreciate that. Weather couldn't be better. He wanted to make sure the weather was going to cooperate, and I did my job with that. So right now we're looking at generally fair skies. A few high-level cirrus clouds in. Temperatures are starting to drop. A little bit cooler tonight. We'll have the complete details on the rest of the week's forecast and into the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob. Thank you so much. Jeff Sessions is officially now the nation's top law enforcement officer.
After a contentious confirmation process, the former Alabama senator was sworn in today as the U.S. Attorney General. After Sessions took oath, President Trump signed 3 executive actions. One targeting criminal cartels, a second aimed at reducing violent crime, and a third to implement a plan to stop crimes against law enforcement officers. President Trump says Sessions will bring in a, quote, new era of justice.
The job of Attorney General is to serve and protect the people of the United States, and that is exactly what he will do, and do better than anybody else can.
Alabama's governor named State Attorney General Luther Strange to the U.S. Senate seat left empty by Sessions. A South Florida lawmaker is trying again to get a controversial therapy banned in the state. Openly gay Representative David Richardson is filing legislation to block therapists from using conversion therapy. The approach is most often used by religious organizations who would actually be exempt under this ban. We talked to a man in Gainesville whose parents sent him to a church deacon for conversion therapy when he was a teenager.
I went to that therapy. And my hopes were in being able to be normal, be like the other guys. The therapy is unrealistic. You cannot change who someone genuinely is.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we'll take a closer look at the pros and cons of conversion therapy, including background on the bill that is pending in the state legislature.
Floridians may soon be able to buy bourbon and bacon in the same place, a bill that would repeal a decades-old prohibition on grocery stores and other retailers from being able to sell hard liquor is moving quickly through the state legislature. Many other states already allow grocery stores to sell liquor next to other items, but in Florida, liquor must be sold in a separate location. The proposal has pitted companies like Target and Walmart who want the change versus companies like Publix that do not.
A 4-day festival celebrating the traditional Greek way of life is going on now in Sarasota. The 33rd annual Santa Barbara Greek Festival kicked off at the church on North Lockwood Ridge in Sarasota. Under the tents, you'll find all the Greek Glendy favorites like gyros and baklava. There's also vendors with unusual art, jewelry, and other specialty foods. Visitors can also enjoy church tours and some dance performances. This festival runs through Sunday. And one thing you're sure to get, fantastic food.
I think that's why most people go.
I think so too. That Greek food is great. They always drop some off at the station and it goes very quickly.
Yep. Well, mammograms have proven to be a useful tool in early breast cancer detection, but they're not always perfect.
Coming up, advice for women if they receive a faulty result or a false positive. That's straight ahead in Health News.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s, plus incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour 6 designer models. This is the time of your life. Make it island time at Harbor Isle. Go to mintofla.com now.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Getting a call from your doctor after a mammogram may carry a risk that you may not have thought about. With more, here's ABC News senior medical contributor, Dr. Timothy Johnson.
The mammogram has drastically reshaped the battle against breast cancer, helping many women and their doctors find tumors in their earlier, more treatable stages. But like all medical tests, mammograms aren't perfect. As many as 1 in 10 women may eventually be told the scan has shown breast cancer when there's really nothing there. That's known as a false positive. And while further testing can reveal the error, these women can experience distress along with invasive procedures that aren't needed. But today, another possible consequence of a false positive mammogram. An international team of researchers finding in a study of more than 260,000 women that those who received a false positive result were far less likely to return for their next screening. Missing a recommended mammogram can have consequences, as the researchers found. Women who experienced false positive mammograms had a greater risk of eventually being diagnosed with late-stage breast cancer, perhaps because they had been allowed to grow for a longer time before they were caught. Bottom line, women who experience a false positive mammogram should not let the experience keep them away from the mammogram machine. Those regular screenings could save their life. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
And now let's check back in with ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, who is out at the Plantation Golf and Country Club on a really nice night, Bob.
Yeah, the Community Foundation right here is raising a lot of money, over $2.6 million over the past 25 years for local charities, over 30 of them here in South Sarasota County. And it's always a well-attended event. It's always sold out. They have 2 18-hole golf courses here. They have the Panther and the Bobcat, and both of them were filled up, and it appears that we may be in the running right now for first place. We'll see how that goes out. There's still people coming in, like Rico Petroselli just showing up right now, but Rico from Boston, yeah. And I'll tell you what, our weather looks good. Let's go to the Sarasota Bay webcam and show you what's been going on today as far as that goes. We've had just basically fair skies throughout much of the early afternoon. Then some high clouds have since moved in. Those high clouds now are simply moving on by, and it looks like we will see clear skies tonight, which will allow temperatures to drop significantly as a result of this cold front. Now, when I say significantly, compared to what we've seen, temperatures have been into the mid-60s for the most part. For lows, we're talking lows now upper 40s to low 50s. But we are looking for a warmer weekend ahead, and that warmer weekend ahead will be a result of the winds switching around quickly, more to an easterly direction beginning on Saturday. Highs tomorrow will be close to seasonal averages. That front has since cleared, and it looks like we will see no real threat of any rainfall. And it looks like that will be staying with us all the way through until Wednesday of next week, and even that rain chance is not all that high as we slip into midweek next week. But for the time being, the big story has been the heavy snow over the Northeast. It's starting to wind down in New York, but still continuing in places like Boston and also into Maine. But most of the snow now is off into the Atlantic at this point, and we are anticipating that storm to exit off to the Northeast through tonight. But for us, the front is down to the south. It will stay there. As I mentioned, high pressure building in quickly, and that will warm temperatures up back into the mid-70s as early as Saturday afternoon, with no real threat of any significant rainfall here, as I said, until Wednesday. And even that is not all that high right now, only at around 20 to 30%. Well, currently at the Sarasota Brayton Airport, we have partly cloudy skies. Temperatures have cooled a little bit considering where we've been. It's at 69 now. The dew point is at 54. The barometer 30.09 inches. And winds have switched around to the northwest at 12, and that's ushered in the cooler air. High today was 79 before the front moved in. The average high at 73. We'll be close to that number 73 tomorrow. And it looks like our lows tomorrow will be close to seasonal averages in the low 50s. No rainfall to report today. It looks like we will see A little limited chances for showers until Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Right now, 60s across most of the Panhandle, and here along the west coast of Florida. You can see still pretty warm inland areas, 81 in Lake Placid and Punta Gorda and Arcadia. But those cooler winds out of the northwest are keeping things quite chilly, if you will, considering where we've been again for much of the coastal locations. Now, winds will stay out of the north and northeast and eventually switch around more to an easterly direction, and that happens on in through Saturday as we move through time for boaters. A bit of a breeze tomorrow, seas running fairly high, but they will be subsiding somewhat by noon. The 7-day forecast is calling for a high of 71 tomorrow. So a little chilly, but not bad. And then mid-70s all the way through the weekend and beyond, with a chance for showers on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have much more on this great event here. Check the scores to see where we're at. I think we're 14 under or something to that effect, but we'll have to double check on that in just a little bit. Back to you.
Okay, awaiting those scores. Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but traffic is backed up on US 41. This is in Sarasota near Fruitville Road.
President Trump meeting with airline and airport authority executives today. Among those at the meeting, the CEOs of Delta and United. Those carriers have called for a review of the Open Skies agreement that allows foreign carriers to quickly expand their U.S.-bound routes, claiming Gulf Airlines receives unfair national subsidies. The president did not promise reprieve from foreign pressures, but did promise to cut regulations, modernize infrastructure, and even cut taxes.
If you're stumped on what to buy a newlywed couple, Domino's can help. The pizza giant has started a wedding registry where couples can register for e-gift cards for food. There's also a package for $100 where a delivery person can show up at the end of the reception with pizzas for the late night guests. That's a great idea. Another option called the post-honeymoon adjustment to real life features a pizza and salad for newlyweds who really don't feel like doing the dishes after all of that stress. I don't blame them.
I think that has potential.
I think it's a really good idea. It sounds kind of weird at first, but after you do all that wedding stuff, you really don't want to cook.
Right.
And it is kind of nice to have some comfort food. So good idea. Entertainment news is next.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Winter White event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Beyonce is facing a $20 million copyright lawsuit.
The estate of the late New Orleans YouTube star is suing the superstar over copyright infringement. The estate of Anthony Barr, who went by the name of Messi Maya on YouTube, claims that Barr's voice is featured in the introduction of the song Formation. The complaint alleges Barr's estate has not received any payments or acknowledgement. Barr was fatally shot in 2010. His estate is demanding at least $20 million in damages and royalties.
At 74 years old, the Queen of Soul is planning to take it a little easier. Aretha Franklin says she will retire this year. The singer says she has one more album planned with several tracks produced by Stevie Wonder, and then she will limit herself to some select things as she devotes more time to her grandchildren. Franklin also says 2017 will be her last year in concert. This year's Grammy Awards will include special tributes to two pop icons. Organizers say the program will include two performances in honor of the late Prince and George Michael. Other stars set to perform include Adele, Alicia Keys, Lady Gaga, John Legend, Bruno Mars, and Metallica. The Late Show's James Corden is hosting the Grammys, which airs this Sunday night.
I think he's a great host because he's done so much for music in the past year or so with the carpool karaoke features, and
he's very natural too,
oh, yeah.
so I'm sure he'll do great. Yeah.
We'll be right back with more news.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to californiaclosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.